So up first is Matteo. Matteo is at Platformatic, a really awesome startup. And he's going to talk to you about the evils of ORMs and why you should never use one. Yeah, no, I know. I agree with him, so. What would you like?
Only this one?
It's only this one because with the speakers, it creates too much frequency vibrational. So there is a stand if you want to have it held.
I will need a little bit of a demo. So I will
Yes.
get
Let me find the stand. Where did the stand go?
stand. Otherwise, I have a man stand.
Oh.
Is a man stand?
That's perfectly fine.
Luca,
Luca is welcome to just stand here, and Luca is
So, hey, thank you, Luca. Luca will be the stand.
co-founder.
Okay.
Oh, look.
Oh, we have the stand. Come on, we have the stand now. Perfect. Yeah, if you can just put it here, and then yeah. Thank you. That's if you just can. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Matteo. What do I do? Let me not stand too much on the slides. What do I do? I'm part of this company called Platformatic. We have nice T-shirts. We have made a special edition for London and this conference. It's a nice P, so we could put the London eye on it. It's pretty nice, okay? You can grab it. We have a nice booth table in the sense that it's totally self-serving. There are stickers and T-shirts, so go grab one. Okay, we are not manning the booth. It's just a small startup. But if you see us, we have three of us, myself, Luca. Luca is there. Hello, hi Luca. And there is Simon too. Where is Simon? Hi Simon, over there. Okay. So it's come and talk to us if you like what we are saying or not. Even if you don't, just say that you don't. It's totally cool to give us feedback. Some feedback is really good. Anyway, what do? I maintain a lot of open source on NPM. You probably have some of my stuff on your computer. I'm sorry. It's probably because you pain. Every now and then, I broke a few modules big time. So, you know, it's kind of like 12 billion downloads on NPM. What that means, I don't know, but that's what I do. So we are going to talk today about object relational mapping, one of my favorite topics, okay? So basically, what are ORMs? ORMs tells you a nice story of a world where spaghetti are all very straight and you can really count them and very organized, okay? And it tells us the story that you can organize your code, structuring it using models, classes and models, where a class or a model can hold your business logic as well as your data and persistence and all those things. And yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about that. But before, how many of you have do you know what happens when your application uses an ORM? Do you know? It hibernates. And if you're not at Java, you wouldn't understand this joke. But if you do, you know what I'm saying. Look it up, hibernate, okay. Anyway, sorry about the Java joke. You're probably not the right crowd for the Java joke at NodeConf. A lot of people laughed, so there's probably a lot of overlap anyway. Cool. So what does an ORM do? I'm moving, so people will be super happy about me moving. Anyway, so the ORM is it typically provides you a model provides typically three responsibilities. It provides persistency, as we said, provides all the data in memory, of course. Once I load a model, an object, I all the data that it's a copy from memory, from the database, and also implement some business logic. Typically, we add some. It's a class, right? The object-oriented programming told you that you need to put data and the functions to operate on that data on that same class. Yeah, not good. Why? Well, the problem is that once your application starts growing, you soon realize that you are creating a lot of those models, and it creeps, okay? Typically, because you're structuring your web application in Node in this kind of structure called the MVC pattern, where you have controllers, you have your framework, whatever. Then you have controllers to manage, to coordinate the system, and then you have views and you have models. And okay, so I'm writing some new feature, some new piece of code. Where do I put it? Or is it is it organizing? So is it a controller? Is it a model? Or is it a view? That's how you structure your application, an MVC pattern. It's very popular. It was very popular, and it's still very popular everywhere. Like most of the application you're doing, more or less follows this. A lot of the application follows this pattern. Problem being, you soon will have 2,000 models in your models folder. You don't understand how that database schema is set up because it has 2,000 tables in it or something like that, and it's a gigantic ball of spaghetti. Okay, ORMs delivers clearly, instead of the nice organized stack of things and ways to structure our code, clearly delivers spaghetti codes since they were invented in the 90s. It's an absolute certainty. Note that even things that are not ORMs deliver spaghetti balls. By the way, it's like, don't touch my carbonara, okay? It's very good to eat, but not really to maintain. Okay, you probably have seen some of those code bases. So, what do they do? Well, let's see. Let's talk a little bit better. One of the things that I created a few years back is called Fastify. It's a web framework for Node. And the way I recommend people to structure application in Fastify, as well as all the other application, you can use this pattern with any other framework, to be honest. But with Fastify, it comes around pretty nicely, is essentially keep this flat in the sense of I want to structure my application based on a set of features. So I want a cart feature. I don't want to structure it as or a product feature and put all the code related to cart or product in logical modules, in logical components that are separated from each other. And they communicate only via known APIs. There is no database to database type of, I'm doing a query that jumps across 5 tables and putting it inside a random piece of JavaScript, random piece of code, 3-level nested, and I can't break my code anymore. Okay, so this is also the basic step to go into a microservice direction, because with Fastify you could essentially just keep splitting your system very easily into multiple processes if you want to. There is a cart folder. If there is a cart folder, I can take the content of that cart folder and expose it as my own as my microservice now. It's doable. So how does this relate to ORMs though? Because we started, I would never use an ORM. Let's talk a little bit about Pareto. Do you know the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule? You probably are familiar with it. Basically, 80% of the code leads to 20% of the outcome, and only 20% of the causes leads to 80% of the outcome. Percentage doesn't matter here, but this is more or less the concept. What this means in our world is that when you implement a new application, you could very quickly get to 80% of the feature very quickly. Like you could implement all the things in more or less no time. But then the last 20% is super hard and takes forever. And you probably have seen all of these in all your work, or your day-to-day work, where you have your code, slowly. You do a lot of progress at the beginning, very easy work. Then it's why it stopped? Like you start seeing, the new number of features shipped goes down, and says, I don't know. Managers are not happy at that point. Typically, they think it's very linear. I don't know why people in management don't really understand this. Seems very simple, but anyway. So the problem here is, given this setup, when you need to pick a new technology, what would you choose? Would you choose something that makes these number, the effort for starting the project goes down? Or would you pick a technology that helps you develop the more complex feature that takes 80% of the time? it seems pretty obvious. However, most people that use a ORM decide that they want to use something that helps with the start of the project. They are super popular. We are skewed to use technologies to help with the start of the project. I've seen an entire tech stack decided by a tutorial. Not even published these years, 5 years ago. Okay, anyway. So basically, if you're picking something that for the 20%, you want a framework that removes all the repetitive tasks, the boring stuff, okay? We don't want, this is, being lazy. Who wants to implement CRUD? Is this in this room somebody that really likes to implement create, read, update APIs or work? There might seem nobody here. I don't know, I like it. Okay, one. Or you can go and do something that helps with the complex features. And this is the why, we pick ORMs, because we don't like to do the complex, the repetitive work. Everybody knows how to read and save from a table, so why we should spend effort in doing it. Cool. So, as I said, the ORMs removes the easy part. So typically, we define and write the schema. Then we set up our database, we set up our ORMs, then we write our models, then we expose the models as route or GraphQL resolvers, and then, oh, wait, what happens? We need to write custom SQL in the end because or very custom piece of code to deal with some very complex business logic. And this is where the time is all the time of development is gone. Cool, so, reality is that the best line of code is the one I don't have to type. And by the way, this is an amazing keyboard. So if you want to go buy one, it's really cool. What I want from a backend system is a backend that is that I don't have to write. This is nice, right? Do you like it? I don't really like writing repetitive code, so but it's super extensible. And it provides me some very basic authorization support, because this is another boring thing that I don't want to figure it out every single time. How many of you like doing authorization? No, again, this seems to be, okay, they're the right crowd for this talk in the end, apart from the joke from Java, but we can get there. Something that provides me some GraphQL and REST, this is easy. Apollo Federation, something that I can deploy on my servers, because, who knows? I don't want to use a cloud servers for building my backend. I just want to run it on my computer, on my servers and stuff. And, something that allows me to use multiple databases, because why only pick one? Cool. And there was a problem here, because I also wanted, like, as good as I would build it myself. Okay. I have a problem. Typically, you say you're British, so whatever. I want to have the cake and eat it too. Okay, pretty much. And there is a nice cake. Okay, so, it's a good cake. Hopefully, we will have some cake later. So, basically, can a tool remove all the repetitive tasks, but then go out of the way for the most complex features? Yes, we built it, hopefully. So it's still in beta alpha, so we'll try it out. You can check out, it's called Platformatic, and you can find the docs here. So oss.platformatic.dev. Platformatic DB. So how does this work? Platformatic is a company. We build open source tools for you to use. Platformatic DB is one of our first tools. We have some few others. So write a migration, define the schema, configure Platformatic DB, apply the migration, and then there is still a step here of writing custom SQL encode. Okay, the difference from before is that we are actually remove these two steps. You don't have to write the model and expose the models and routes and resolvers. It's done for you. How does it work? Okay, so Platformatic DB is just a node application, so you can just run it to yourself wherever you want. And it can be easily extended, though. in the sense that you can even embed it, your code, inside the system. No need of complex webhooks. Oh, other systems are very cool and says, oh, I want you, if you want to customize your REST API or the REST API or GraphQL resolvers, sure, you can do it. You can embed, you can write your webhooks and deploy your webhooks in our fantastic runtime on the internet. But I want to run it on my server or my computer. No, you need to use our cloud. No, reality is that you can run Platformatic DB completely on your machine, on your servers, or wherever you want, and this runs Platformatic DB, runs in its own process, and you can just put your code inside it. Cool. How does it work? Let's do a quick demo. So I got my stand. I don't need to use the human stand. Like, if should I?
Yeah, no, it's not for these mics, I'm afraid.
No worries. No worries. I will probably need the human stand. So let's see if I can do it with one hand, okay? So let's see, where is it? Demo. Okay, we have our demo. So let's see, let's move it around a little bit. Okay, so demo, it's demo time. So what we can do Platformatic DB init to initialize our stuff. Then, we might want to use not init. Okay, I want to create a little bit of a package JSON. Then I can copy this stuff. Sorry. Yeah, doing it with one hand is not simple. Okay, so let's see. Can you still hear me? Okay, now I can use two hands. Oh, okay. So npm I, okay. So let's see, it might take forever. Okay, let's see. In the meanwhile, whilst running, okay, what we can do is run pltdb to start the file, okay? And it's complaining, it says a warning, no entities found. So run Platformatic DB migrate to set it up. So what is happening? What did the init create for us? It did create a migration folder, and we have now a table. We have now a table called movies. Okay, so this is the table called movies, and cool. Okay, so what we can do is we can do plt db migrate to migrate it up. And yay, migrated. And it also created some TypeScript stuff, and we'll go into that in a second. So we are here. Now, this run, so we can go into localhost 3042, and you can see that we have created our stuff. What can we do? We can open graphical. Do you like graphical, right? You don't all know GraphQL, right? A little bit. Okay, so you can open fantastic graphical, and it's you could. This is not needed. Okay, you could. We can get, for example, all our movies. Oh, there is nothing here. So yeah, you can. Okay, you see that's the human stand. So welcome the CEO of Platformatic, freshly promoted as the human stand. Thank you. You can talk if you want.
No, I thought it was just a human.
Okay, you are a human stand. So basically, you have the mutation. We can do the mutation, and we can do save movie, and for example, put in an input and says that we want to write to store in our database Harry Potter, and then we want the ID and the title, and then we can run it, and you can see that it got our data. Saved. Now, if we go back in running the movies query, you can get it. There is even more stuff here, so you can do, for example, a where, and you can say that title. We want all the movies that are equal with title is equal to Star Trek, for example, and there is no one because there's no Star Trek movies recorded. Or we could put in Harry Potter, and it will work. Cool. Okay, so this seems nice. We also have full OpenAPI routes being created. You can see that we have movies, and we can do get, post, put, and all following the REST pattern. And we can even try it out from the Swagger UI, and we can execute our query. You can see that it does curl 3042/movies, and we get a response as an array with all our movies. So it's pretty nice, right? So you can take it and you can try it out, and it will just respond it very quickly. Cool. Okay. So what more? What do we have more? Well, what we can do is let's add a quick relation. So it's a relational database. So let's do a quick relations. Let's see if Copilot works. So create quotes table. Let's see if Copilot works. Yeah, Copilot. You see, we like Copilot. And so let's see, movie ID, integer not null, reference, movies ID. Okay, it's really cool.
There is a type.
Yeah, where? At the top? Cool.
No, movie.
Oh, movie ID. Yeah, okay. So look, it's we don't need serial because we're using SQLite, so we need integer here. Seems about correct.
Yeah.
Try it.
Let's try.
It's the bigger one.
Let's see if I got fired.
Okay.
Well.
He's fired. Here we go. You can listen. Short but intense. Okay. Thank you. Now we can do migrate to run our new system, and we can refresh our graphical, and then as you can see here in queries, now we already have quotes. Note that I didn't have restarted the server or anything. It automatically reloaded and picked it up in a automagic fashion. So now we can add our quotes. So let's do a mutation and do save quote and input, and we want to movie ID. Okay, we want to add it to Harry Potter, and then we want the title. We want the quote to be I solemnly swear I'm up to no good. I hope I got it right. Okay, and then we want the ID, for example, of the quote. Okay, we have stored it. Now we can go back to our movies. Here we got our movies, all movies. Then we could get our quotes, and we can get the quote. So we run this, and you can see that it automatically construct the full graph. There is more, to be honest. I have a little bit more time, right? So I hope I can keep going. Something that we also support is subscriptions. So you could get, for example, a subscription for movies saved or quotes and so on and so forth. And we can get, for example, we want the ID and the title, and we start running our subscription here. Oh, it's trusted. Oh, I probably made a mess. Oh, it crashed. Happy days. Fun. Probably a bug in Node. Oh, I maintained the thing. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, it started. Okay, so it's we have started the subscription. Okay, and now let's say that we want to store another movie called Star Wars, and we store Star Wars, and now on the subscription you see that it gets the actual data. The live reloading, the lot reloading thing, it's a little bit finicky, as you see. It might crash every now and then. Cool. So, okay, so we have covered most of it, or at least this session, this little bit. So let's go back on our slides. So what does it do? Well, Platformatic. Let's do. Platformatic DB allows you, as I said, to start in no time. Oh. Let's do it. So then the feature that is actually very fun, and I should have demoed, is the fact that in fact we have a plugin system. So this is a Fastify application, okay? And for example, you can add all the Fastify plugins that you want, or you can even say that you can do Platformatic, entities and entities, sorry. Entities, and then here you see that there is movie and quotes automatically coming from our TypeScript definition. So for example, we can do movie, and then you can find all the movies, and then you can cast movies, await. I can save this, then I can, oh yeah, I need to log it. So I can do platformatic log info, and says movies. Oh, sorry about it. Yeah, okay, movies. And then if I reload, you can see that I got my movies automatically logged, and the file gets reloaded automatically. Cool. And here I can, for example, add my own routes. So I want to do titles, and I can just do something like this. And then return all the titles from my movies. And then if this is reloaded, and I can just go to localhost 3042 and then go to titles, and it didn't reload. Titles. Did I make a typo? Line. Oh, yeah, thank you. Haha. Yeah, okay. And now, yeah, now you see it's working. Okay. I didn't even have to run it. Great, thank you.
We have Copilot in the audience.
Copilot in the audience. Cool. So, what do we do next? Very cool. It's and then you can also extend your GraphQL system and so on and so forth. And if you go in here, you will see that we also get the new title stuff is also appear automatically in our Swagger definition. You can also extend your GraphQL routes and GraphQL resolvers and things like that. Cool. So what are you? So all of these is available right now. You can even use these as individual modules from NPM. So that if you just want some of these features, if you're using Fastify, you can just use some of these modules. It's completely modular system if you want to. There is one more feature. So I have a question for you. Did I code an ORM? Okay, good. I have one more feature to release today, which is what I just released it this morning on the couch over there. So I was just over there just releasing it. I didn't want to do it on stage, but I forgot my UB key. And then I had to type a lot of authorization token, and it was NPM authorization token for the 2FA, and it was very boring. So the UB key helps with that. So let's enable it. So we go into platformaticdb.json, and what we can do, we can add two new things. One is dashboard, set to true, and then one is metrics, set to true. Cool. We have enabled this. Now we can just go back to our home and reload it, and it automatically changed from being an empty page to something more with a little bit more information in it. You still have your graphical, same as before. Your open API definition, same as before. You have a little bit of system here. Oh, it didn't load. To store the configuration. And we have the table view. So this is another way to interact with the data. And you can see here that we have a full-blown, Excel-like editor system that you can use to do the bits. We'll add some more features here, like search and like usual stuff that you would expect. So that's kind of it. Oh yeah, I didn't show something more. So let's see that we have reloading it up, and then you go to our dashboard, and you can see that it's all the stats gets automatically compiled and filled in. It's fast, as you can see. Like let's say that you go to a route that does not exist, and then you can see that it's when this loads every 10 seconds or whatever. Anyway, so if there is an error, this will go up. Anyway, this is kind of it. As I said, please check us out. We are on Discord, so if you have any questions, you can come to our Discord server and chat. I am Matteo Collina, available on the web on nodeland.dev, and there is also a newsletter if you want to chat. Cool, and thank you, and thank Dylan. I hope I didn't go too much over time.